Hi, Sifu Paul. Training in class, of course, is the cornerstone and foundation of your training. You're in the class, you've got a number of instructors giving you input and correction, and your peers and your colleagues who you're training with, who you're learning alongside of. However, you need to complement and supplement that with your own personal training outside of class, solo training. Now, I'm not talking about doing 2 hours a day here and suddenly saying that you've got to forego loads of other things in your life. However, 5, 10, 15 minutes, sort of like every other day, starts to really chalk up some time. And the important thing with solo training is it gives you that extra time to work on areas perhaps that you're not so comfortable with. And we're never going to do enough form training in class to make you really proficient at your forms. The simple reason for this is that if we spend all our time doing form training, we can't now work your footwork, your punches, your combinations, and your self-defense techniques. So you're good at forms, but can't actually apply it in any way, shape or form, which would have been the traditional way to train. So your training by yourself and solo is going to give you that time to now repeat things like the form, or your footwork, or your punches. And I'm saying or, I would say and, work all of those things over a period of time. The most common concern with solo training is that you're going to train something incorrectly, and that's going to become ingrained, and then you're not going to be able to get out of that habit. I understand that, however, it's not correct. That's just through being early to your training and not fully understanding that you can overwrite everything. The most important thing with you doing solo training is that you have a consistent mistake if you have one. So instead of, for example, if I take Tansao and I ask you to do a Tansao in class, and you do one here, one here, one here, one here, one there, it's a little hard to say, okay, you need to move your Tansao to the left or the right or up or down, because you really had all of those mistakes just because you haven't trained it. Now if you go home and you train it and train it and train it, and suddenly your Tansao say, give me a Tansao, boom, 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 and every Tansao is up here. Now maybe it's a little high and a little too far out, but now as an instructor I can say to you, your Tansao is very good, it's just a little too high and it's a little too far out. If you just bring it down and in, perfect. Now as a student you have a reference point, because you know, it's a little too high and too far out. So you can start to correct that, and as an instructor I have a reference point. So now we've got a road we can walk along and tread. So that's really important. The other thing is, of course, you're clocking up more time and more hours. So you're getting that repetition in, you're becoming more familiar with it, and you're creating that habit. So you're creating a habit of doing additional training. So once you've improved your Tansao, we'll do the same to your foot sao, your park sao, your form, your first form, your second form. Anyone in the class has a good Sunum Tao first form, I know without a doubt will have a good Chung Q. And it wasn't because they had a natural bias to Sunum Tao, they just train. And then they take those extra 10, 15 minutes that they've been doing at home, that they were doing on Sunum Tao, and take it now to their Chung Q, their second form. So the key to you to progress is the class, and then complement that with a little bit of your own solo training. Just put that time in, guys. Okay, thank you very much. Take care and train hard.